Okay, welcome to Dudes Missing the Mark. We have Mark, we have Cody, and missing in action tonight is our guy Jay Space Brian. He's sick. That's all I'm gonna say is he's sick. Otherwise, I'm gonna violate HIPAA. So, Cody, we have a great week. Let's see, week 9. Oh my gosh, we're more than halfway through a football season. That's kind of sad, to be honest, right?
It is, honestly.
Yeah.
It's at least it was a good week of football, you know. Good week to mark the halfway point of the NFL.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, we'll get into all that. We got best game, best performance, who missed the mark. Probably talk a lot about the Cowboys. And before we get started, though, we have a new sponsor alert, Cody. Topo Chico mineral water.
I love it.
It's the best. It's carbonated. It hits wells from Monterrey, Mexico, and honestly, it's got the best bubbles. We're a bubble family, so we judge our soda waters or our mineral waters by the bubbles in there. And Topo Chico's got the best bubbles, so go grab you Topo Chico today. So, all right,
Honestly, my favorite beverage is a Topo Chico lime. Just the lime flavored Topo Chico all over it.
I do. It's very delicious. I
Yeah.
agree. It's the best one. So, all right, dance party. Okay, and here we go. Well, it we are recording this on November 7th, and gotta start it off. Rangers are still World Series champs, Cody. That has not
Honestly,
changed.
honestly, after this past Sunday, I got a lot of crap at work, and I just responded with Texas Rangers are World Series champions,
Yeah.
and that's all that
What else?
matters.
That's it.
Dallas,
That's it.
Dallas Mavericks are 6-1, but the Texas Rangers are World Series champions,
That's right.
and that's all that matters.
Um, and before we get into the football, I got to give another shout out to Corey Seager. He's kind of a team first guy. Every interview, he's like, can't do it without the team. Super hyper competitive. And I loved at the parade or after the parade when they're all standing around on the podium talking. And he kind of trolled Alex Bregman a little bit there, who said, Bregman said, a lot of people were asking what would happen if the Astros didn't win the West. I guess we'll never know. And then Seager comes up, who probably maybe the guy I least expect for him to say something like this, but he said a lot of people asked if, what would happen if the Rangers didn't win the World Series. Guess we'll never know. And the crowd goes wild. And
Love it.
I love it. And I love him more and more every day. I think can I adopt him? You have Evan Carter and I'll have Seager.
You can.
I'm a little
That's fair.
older.
That's fair. I will let you adopt Corey Seager as long as I get Wyatt Langford when he comes up next year. Because,
Okay. Cool.
dude,
Yeah, you're
we're gonna talk about MLB free agency at some point, but seeing a lot of articles and a
mm-hmm.
lot of like guessing that Rangers are gonna be major players for Otani,
Oh.
which would be just sick.
Oh, just
So
that's crazy. Having him in the
yeah,
DH spot next year. Oh my god, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
So
all right. One can dream. One can dream. Yeah, lots of it's
hey,
MLB. It's rumor city for the next probably 2 months, I guess, right? Basically like
yeah.
how many guys signed before Christmas, but yeah, I'm excited.
If I had told you before the beginning of last season, Texas Rangers were going to be World Series champions, you would think, "Oh, one can dream." Well, Mark, dreams do come true.
They do indeed. And go Rangers. We're world champs. I still have my background for those watching on the YouTube. Still have my world champions background going for the Rangers. Maybe next week I'll have a different one on there, but I haven't decided yet. So we'll see. So
Love it.
okay. Well, week 9 happened. Um I feel like we're starting to get a lot of clarity in the NFL right now. We're starting to get a lot of who's good, who's bad. Lots of injuries, right? I feel like there's a lot of injuries, especially in the quarterback position.
Every year there's a lot of injuries, and it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. But yeah, quarterback position's been hit harder than typical this year. A lot of backups, a lot of googling who's that guy.
Yeah. Yep.
But what was great was that most of the big games this week were not affected by that. As far as like
Yeah.
quarterbacks were playing. Um, most of the star guys were available. I still feel like we learned enough about teams not throwing out like who is that? Who's that? Los Angeles Rams backup quarterback. That guy's like the
Rippin.
Ripon.
Brett Rippin.
Yeah,
Cool,
I feel like
cool last name. Sounds cool, but oof.
yeah, I feel like that guy is the epitome of what we're talking about here. Like just like quarterback that you like. I don't know who you are, who you played for. Typically, when I like turn on an NFL game, I can name 20 out of the 22 guys, like where they went to college, what round they were drafted in. If I don't know who your starting quarterback is that week, that's a bad sign. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of those throughout. It's crazy, but well, how about this? Let's power rank top five in each conference real quick. I'll let you kick it off in the AFC and then I'll go.
all right.
Who's number
Are you
one?
ready?
Who
Are you
is
ready?
number one?
You know I'm coming in with my Edgar Allan pose, baby.
I knew it.
I mean, how can you not put them number one in the AFC Power Rankings? I mean, the last 2 weeks have just been absolute dominant performances against supposedly good foes, and I just think that the Ravens are all like they're firing on all cylinders. Lamar Jackson's an MVP candidate. The defense is playing well. The offense is like I mean, what can you say, man? I mean, they beat the Lions by just absolute ridiculous margin, and then they said Seahawks come get some, and they let the Seahawks have it this week. So I've got the Ravens number one, number two. Gotta go good old the Mahomesies, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Not much
Mahomesies?
to say there. The Mahomies,
The Mahomies.
the
His
Mahomies.
Patrick's Mahomies.
Yes. I mean, as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, they're going to be good, and that's pretty much where it stands with that. Number three, it's when we start getting into dicey territory. We can pick flawed teams that are still good, but they have questions to answer. I'm gonna go Cincinnati Bengals number three. Um,
Hmm.
I was low on them to start the season, but they look like they're back. They're ready. What's crazy is they're 5-3, and then they're in last place in the division,
Yep.
um, which is crazy. And the fact that I'm putting them number three, but with the track record and the fact that Burrows looks healthy again, I think that they're going to continue their ascension back into the getting one of those top two or three playoff seeds moving forward. Number four, we'll go. I don't like any of my remaining selections.
It's kind of
uh,
tough because I had the same problem when I was
yeah,
doing my
so
my 4 and 5.
I'll, I'll go number four with the Jaguars. They're 6-2. Make of that what you will. I don't know if they're any good, but they're 6-2. So I'm going to keep them at number four for now. Number five is where I'm going to struggle because it's down to the Bills or the Dolphins, right? Because um, neither team has looked great. The Dolphins don't have a signature win. They seem to crumple against every good team. The Bills, it depends on what side of the bed they wake up that week. I'll go with the Bills based off of history combined with they do when they show up, they show up. So that's my top five.
All right. Yeah, mine are very similar. I have the Chiefs number one still. I'm just when you have Patrick Mahomes and when you have Andy Reid, Kelsey, I just until somebody knocks them off, they're my number one team. I actually will go Ravens number two. You
Oh
can't
boy.
really yeah. It pained me to watch them do what they did to the Seahawks and the Lions too, who, that's a good team over there. But um I don't. I feel like they may have it this year, and I don't like it because for whatever reason, I've never liked the Ravens from day one, from the get, just never liked them. So, um,
I think
they're
I
good.
think I like the Ravens because I always liked their uniforms combined with. I was a middle linebacker in middle school, and so Ray
Oh,
Lewis.
throwback there. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ray Lewis was like the middle linebacker of that era. So I was
Did you
always
wear
like,
52?
I don't even remember, dude. I I don't know. I didn't
You don't
play in
remember
high
your
school.
numbers?
No, I don't remember my
All right.
football number. It was whichever one they had was clean and available.
Got it. Yeah. All right. So two, yeah, Ravens. I have the Bengals number three. Despite them having a 5-3 record, I think they could break off a pretty decent run here, as they always do. And you're right, Burrow seemed to play his way into shape. Plays not into shape, out of injury, which you don't really see that very often. But the bye obviously helped him a lot, and they did just beat the Bills. Um, I'm sticking with the Bills at 4 only because they seem to figure it out eventually. And then I have the Dolphins 5, and that's mainly because they just don't have a signature win. So they beat up a lot of bad teams. They're very fun against bad teams when they struggle against good teams. I kept the Jaguars out just because I don't know, they're the Jaguars, and is their
I am
division
surprised. I am
good?
surprised. No,
I don't know. I don't
their
trust them.
division.
I trust the Bills more than the Jaguars.
Here's the thing: the Jaguars have beaten the Bills head to head this season. Now it was in
That's
London,
true.
but um,
That
number
doesn't
two,
count. Yeah.
number two, the Jaguars. Well, the AFC South is not great. CJ Stroud and the Texans are a decent team. They at least have that going for them.
Yeah.
I, I don't know. I mean, it's just hard to ignore a 6-2 record and keep them out of the top five.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, let's do the NFC here. I get to start this time
Okay.
because, yeah, because you started last time. So, obviously, I have the Cowboys number one. No, I'm totally kidding. They're not number one. I don't know. Like, I'm looking at this now, and I looked at this earlier, and I thought about it long and hard, and I've decided I'm going to attempt to be somewhat of a more fair and less of a fan whenever I do my rankings and talk about certain teams. The Eagles are terrible. I think they suck. So that's why I have the Lions number one.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
like I said, I thought long and hard, and I want to be unbiased. So Lions are the
Yeah.
best team. They're 6-2. You know, they have their bye now. Um, I don't know. I think they're a good team. Number two, despite their struggles recently, I still think the 49ers are the second best team in there. And honestly, I think they're just good. I think they'll figure it out. Purdy will figure it out. Let's see where I'm at. Number three, obviously Dallas Cowboys will be number three. I just think they played really well. I think the refs screwed us a little bit in that game. We'll get into that later. Number four, the 5-4 Minnesota Vikings. I think Josh Dobbs is going to really make some big improvements to that team. Kirk Cousins could not run, and he can. So that's my number four team. And number five, I'll go with the Saints. The
Okay.
New Orleans Saints are number five. So that's it. What did you think about my NFC right there?
It gets depressing real quick.
It
Is
does.
what that.
It does.
Um,
Yeah.
you
Did I didn't miss anybody, did I?
you missed one team. They are number one, and it's tough. The Voldemorts are number one for sure. They
the
appear.
the NFC is bad. Like, look at the standings just as a conference.
Oh no, it's bad.
Who do you trust?
I, Nobody really. Honestly, I as much as the Eagles have won, I don't know if they've like convinced me that they are like awesome, but they still got to be default number one team. I mean, you have them atop. You still have the 49ers on a 3-game losing streak, number two in the power conference. I mean, power rankings. That's just where the NFC's at. I think the 49ers will be good. I still have faith in them to make the Super Bowl. Um, But they'll be fine once they get to
Somebody
Debo
has
Samuel,
to.
Trent Williams. Yeah, that's true. Once once they get healthier on offense, I think they'll be fine. Um,
Yep.
Number three, I was gonna, I, I'm gonna go Lions 3. I just can't put the Cowboys quite there yet. The Cowboys will be 4 for me, and then number 5, I was actually gonna come in high. I thought I was gonna come in hot with the Vikings coming in the top 5, but you beat me to the punch. I
I had them number 4.
Yeah, and it's funny because they should not be good. They lost Justin Jefferson. They haven't been a good team, and yet they're 5-4, and that's just where we're at in the NFC. You can't. The Seahawks, after this past week, you can't trust anything about the Seahawks and what they're doing. I think the Rams have been too injured, unfortunately. I think that they had a chance to be decent this season.
Yeah.
Not like amazing, but decent. I, everybody like last year was obviously a fluke in the NFC East, and the Commanders and the
Yeah.
Giants have come back down to earth, and then NFC South doesn't
Just a
deserve
little.
to be mentioned. They don't deserve to be mentioned.
That the
So
Saints, they're my number 5.
no, they don't. They don't. They don't deserve it, man. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's bad. My best win of the week. We'll start there. Let's go back to those Minnesota Vikings.
I like it.
Yes, they played the Falcons. But Josh Dobbs, man, he came in after I don't remember the guy's name. Is it something Hall? Is it Jaron Hall? That's
Jaron.
another guy. The guy how you
Yeah.
talked about quarterback. I'm like, who the fuck is this? There's there nobody from a Power Five conference that could have started this game. Um, I don't know, but anyways.
Do you think
So
Matt
anyways,
Leinart? Do you think Matt Leinart could come in and be better than Jaron Hall next week?
um, yeah, I think he can still do it. I think he can still handle it. Where's he from? Oh, he's from BYU. That's where he
Yeah,
went. Interesting.
I did. I did know that actually.
All right. I did not know that. Anyways, he got a concussion right off. Obviously, they traded for Josh Jobs after Kirk Cousins got hurt. He came off, didn't practice at all this week. I think he'd been on the team for 5 days, led them to a comeback victory that was electric. I was able to catch a lot of the end of that game, and that was pretty awesome. And is he going to sustain it? I feel like we're going to see similar things that we saw in Arizona, where he just would do crazy shit every now and then and work, and then sometimes it doesn't. Because when he first came in, he was absolutely terrible, and then he just seemed to maybe calm down or something. I don't know, but that was just for vibes. Best win. Number 2 on that would be the Raiders, who just put it to the poor Giants, but it's just funny that they lost so
Yeah.
bad.
Well, the Raiders won big this week because they fired Josh McDaniel, and that's the
Everybody
biggest
was
winner.
just so happy. Yeah, actually, Raiders' biggest win of the week, firing Josh McDaniels. So,
Yeah.
did did you hear?
Take it.
And I don't know if we're going to talk about the Raiders anymore after this, but did you hear that apparently before he got fired, he was trying to figure out what was going on? So he held like a town hall style meeting, and it quote broke him because
Yeah,
so
I saw
many
that.
like players and coaches were going at him. That's just I
Yeah,
thought that was kind of sad, but also kind of funny.
it is very funny. He just needs to be a coordinator. Like we've tried the Josh McDaniels
Yep.
experience. Like it didn't work in Denver. It didn't work in Las Vegas. Like just need to take the coordinator out, man. That's
Yep.
where we're at
Just
with him.
go back to Belichick and never ever leave.
Yeah, I think that
So
that's where it's at.
yep. Sorry,
Um,
Wyatt.
yeah, but congratulations, Wyatt, on your win and
That's right.
Josh
True.
McDaniels being fired.
True.
And
All
who
right.
knows,
Best
maybe.
win.
Yeah, okay. So best win.
Wait, were you about to say Jerry Jones is going to hire him?
No, 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 no. I said congratulations that on the win and Josh McDaniels getting fired. That's what I
Oh,
was going to say. Yeah.
okay.
Um, Best win of the week. I talked about it in the AFC Power Rankings. It got to be the Lamar Jackson led Baltimore Ravens. I didn't give it to them last week when they put the shellacking on Detroit. This week, I am giving it to them. I just think that was the most impressive, complete display that I saw this weekend. Lamar Jackson wasn't even that great. Like his stat line's not amazing, but he just controlled the game, and their defense was just were making plays. Running game looked good. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. came to life a little bit that game.
Yep.
It was a just a complete performance by what I think is a Super Bowl bound or Super Bowl quality team, and so that was the best win. And there were several good games on this weekend, and you could pick from a lot of them. But I will take the Edgar Allan pose.
Yeah, they played well, and it's just the Seahawks are there. I don't even know how to explain them really. I feel like every time you try to explain any team in the AFC or in the NFC, you just get the same result where it's, well, they're good and then they're really bad. So like there's not like a good balance between them. Like I feel like whoever makes it out of that is just going to be the team that decides to play well that day. Like records aren't really going to matter once you get to the playoffs, right?
No, and the NFC, the NFC, like the whole conference outside of one or two teams, it's all a bunch of like semi good to terrible teams. So it
It's team
it's not
team versions of Kirk Cousins.
honestly that's kind of what it is. That's a good
Like
that's good.
that's a good analogy, right?
And on it, that's how I felt about the NFC last year. I mean,
Yeah.
the Giants were like good last year, and they weren't good, and we knew they weren't
No,
good,
yeah. Yeah,
but they won a playoff game too. Like,
they did. They
that's what.
I think they beat the Vikings with who had like 3 or 4 losses the whole year.
Yeah, exactly. So, the NFC just isn't good, but you gotta have playoffs for both conferences, and that's just how the league works,
That's
unfortunately.
true. 7 teams will get into the playoffs, which if you really think about that, that's a lot of teams in the NFC. There's going to be one or two. Actually, I guess the Giants that happened last year were like, how, what? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
yeah. I mean,
No wonder them will win.
the Commanders almost made the playoffs last year, right? So
They did, and they're pretty close to the playoffs this year, I think.
are they?
They
Were they
are
closer? Are they closer to the playoffs or to the number one pick?
they're closer to the playoffs. They're only 4-5.
Really? Goodness.
Yeah, so I think the Vikings right now are 5-4, and I guess they would be the last team in the playoffs right now
Okay.
because you got the Eagles, Lions, Niners, Saints, and then Seahawks, Cowboys, Commanders.
Wow.
Wow, that's
That's not
that's
great.
that's not good. Not good, Bob.
Yeah, there are a
Anyways,
couple other games. I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins. I need help, Mark. I need you to talk me through the Miami Dolphins. Why can they not be good teams?
Um, I honestly I don't know. They even did the whole got to Germany. Like they left, I think Sunday night at right after that game, their game, and went to Germany.
Yeah.
Kansas City got there, I think Thursday or Friday, and so I've kind of noticed a trend with that. If you go there late, you don't play well. That's what happened to Buffalo. They got there late, and then Jacksonville had already been there, and so they won. But anyways, I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. I it's hard to explain because they play well, but then I feel like they don't score. Does that make
Right.
sense?
They move the ball up and down the field, no problem. It seems like it's just they're lacking the final punch once they get down there, or they turn the ball over. They get set back by penalties.
Yeah.
It's a weird team because I don't feel like the Chiefs stopped them, but yet they only scored what 21 points or 14. Like it was
14. It was 20,
yeah
21.
14.
Yeah, 21-14. They scored
Yeah,
14 in the third quarter. That's the only time they scored.
right. And I mean, it was weird things that happened, like Tyreek Hill getting a strip fumble and then running it back for a
Yeah,
touchdown. It's
that
like,
was a crazy play.
right. So are we concerned about that? No, but at the same time, they've only beaten bad teams and they've only lost to good teams. So
Yeah.
that kind of tells me what you are. I mean, I didn't put them in my top five of the power ranking of the conference, and I've been as high on the Dolphins as anybody on the podcast, at least for the whole year. And I'm starting to waver a little bit in my confidence. I still think that they're a good team. I think that they have some protection issues. I think Tua has issues with people in his face. I saw a stat today. He averages 4 yards
Hmm.
fewer per throw when he's under pressure. So Tua has mostly avoided the big hits by getting the ball out quick, getting it to his receivers. But if he has to hold on to the ball at all and there's any type of pressure on him, things tend to break down. And that's a weak spot in the game. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
I think they're, they're a big play team. So if they
Yeah.
don't get their big plays to score touchdowns, then they don't really manufacture drives very well. They don't like, just go down the field methodically and then score at the end. They score with, like, 30+ yard touchdowns, or like Tyreek does some crazy play to get 50 yards or something like that. So um but I think Achan's coming back after the bye next week. I don't know if he's going to be a difference maker. He's kind of been a home run hitter as well. But I mean, I don't know. He's an upgrade over Jeff Wilson Jr. That's for sure, right?
Do
So
you do you think that Taylor Swift saved the Chiefs season?
I think so. She wasn't at the game though, and Kelsey did only have 3 for 14.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think she's starting her international tour. That's what. Unfortunately, I know that because people on sports channels have told me that, which is just a wild thing to think about. That's how I know that she's about to go on an international tour. I've never thought about a tour of hers ever, where she goes, how long it is. Um, Now I know. I think it goes to the football season because I saw the report that he was going to join her on tour, which makes no sense.
Overseas?
Yeah, they're like, oh, the report is that Travis Kelce is going to join Taylor Swift on her international tour. It's like, well, he's in the middle of a football season. I don't know where the international tour is, but unless it's in Canada or Mexico only, I don't see this working.
Where's the
So
where's the where's the farthest place that you think it'd be like okay for him to go? Like like is are we talking like South America? Like what if she goes like Argentina
like
and
Cancun maybe would be the furthest place he could go. I don't know where. Yeah, if her international tour includes like South America, or is it like Europe? Is it Asia? I have no idea. But I feel like if look, people got mad at Zach Wilson for flying back to Utah to go apple picking with his girlfriend on his bye
wait,
weeks.
when does
Like
Zach Wilson have a he has a girlfriend?
I again I find things out based on sports channels. Yeah, there was a New York radio host that got really upset. He's like, "You're the quarterback. You need to stay in the building. Don't go apple picking with your girlfriend in Utah." So there was some. I guess the guy saw like a photo of him in Utah with his girlfriend's family or something. I don't know. The guys are millionaires. Let them fly. What, 6 hours on a bye week? It's fine, but I don't know. So to answer your question, I don't think it's. I think he should stay in the building the whole bye week, all the time. Actually, I think he should sleep there. Kelsey,
I
that is.
mean, Kelsey and Mahomes. They
Yeah,
should just have bunk beds.
they probably do.
Well, I'm disappointed in the Dolphins. I was hoping that they came out and would make a statement win. They did not. That's okay. Um, I will say I don't think that they missed the mark this week. Or where are we at in our lineup of stuff? Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background.
Oh, hey Rory. I think we've only done best win really, but we can do worst loss.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not. I changed my answer. Go ahead. You got one?
The worst loss is the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, that's what I was looking at. I'm like, I think that's the worst loss because I mean I was thinking about maybe Buffalo, but let's just talk about the Cowboys. So the Cowboys lost 28-23 over the Eagles. It was in Philadelphia. Lots of questionable decisions, not only by McCarthy, but by Dak at the end of the game. Took a sack. Overall,
What
he
what is
what
going on at the end of the game at the end of Dallas Cowboys games?
I
I don't understand it.
I don't know. They lose it. And like, why are we taking so much time? Why are we huddling up with like less than 2 minutes left? Like, I get it that I get that we don't want to leave them too much time. We don't want to go down score and then they have three timeouts and a minute 15 to go down the field and kick a field goal, right?
You
But
have to worry
step
about freaking
step
scoring.
one, score.
I mean, Mark, sorry I cut off your recap of the game, but dude, that is just what this whole game was about. It was a back and forth game. The Cowboys led most of the first half. Eagles had a dominant third quarter. Then the Cowboys have multiple chances to win the game. They have a touchdown that was ruled not a touchdown because the tight end fell inside of the like that, which was, I mean, I'm thankful for replay and everything that is done for us in the NFL, but that's like just like kind of abuse of replay. I mean, that's like less than a foot of like in real time. It looked like a touchdown, no problem. It so outside of that, so that was a throw to the tight end on a fourth down play. They did not. It was originally ruled touchdown to take the lead or to what was that, to bring him within a score, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep.
So that was ruled not. We do end up scoring a touchdown later. That puts us at 28-23. We need a 2-point conversion. Dak decides to step out instead of staying in bounds to
Yeah.
get 2
You
points.
gotta know where you are in the field.
Just got to. And then we miraculously, after all that, the Cowboys have a chance to win the game, to at least score to take the lead, and more than likely win the game. We move backwards from the 5-yard line of the Eagles to now we're on the 22 when we're doing the last throw of the game, and we don't even get it to the end zone. Dak does not even throw the ball to the end zone. He throws it to CeeDee Lamb 5 yards in front of the end zone, and obviously it comes up short. Just absolute disgrace by the Cowboys, and continues a troubling trend of end of game situations. Is there a team that you trust less than the Cowboys to come in and win a game at the end of the game?
No, because I think it's twofold. I think it's one, look, Dak, if you look at the box score, you're like, holy shit, he played very well. He had like 340 something yards. I don't even think he had an interception. And, overall looked good. Or like, wow, really good game. But if you watch the end of that game, one, how McCarthy managed the end of that game, the play calling, I thought was terrible. He just like wasted time after time after time. And
No.
then Dak missing like two wide open receivers on fourth down on the second before last drive, which he threw to Tolbert. Cody, who the fuck is Tolbert, and why are we throwing to him on fourth down when he's covered? I mean, even if CeeDee Lamb is covered, throw CeeDee Lamb the ball over him. At least he has a
Right.
chance to it. So I don't know. And he also had Ferguson kind of open there too. So like two misreads basically. And if Jalen Tolbert is your first read, another problem. Then we get the ball back, and defense I thought played pretty well overall. Yes, they allowed 28 points, but they played well. They played well enough.
Mm-hmm.
But and then at the end, where I mean, like you said, I mean, we got we got a roughing the passer penalty on that drive, the last drive too, which helped out a lot, along with the pass interference before that. So you're kind of like watching that, you're like, well, this really looks like it's going to work out for the Cowboys here. We're getting break after break. Everything's going to go well. false start penalty, sack. I think there was another penalty. Oh yeah, delay game after that, and then it was the stupid pass to CD, which when he threw it, I was like, oh man, look. No, because the Eagles had a barricade at the goal line. So
Right.
I don't know,
No,
run
it
a
was
hook and ladder, like have someone set up, but that was just I don't know, it was bad.
well. Here's the thing.
I'm disappointed.
If, if it was one game, I would I would shrug it off and be like, okay, the Cowboys didn't play particularly well, and we still had a chance to beat the best team in the NFC, uh, and we looked like we belonged.
Right.
Right. The problem is we have a history now under Mike McCarthy of not handling end of game situations well. The play calling is always questionable. The fact that we've lost multiple playoff games without getting a playoff at the end of the at the end of the game is just asinine. The fact that other teams seem to run 2 minute drills fine. And in fact, that's the only time they move the ball the whole game sometimes is during the 2 minute drill. And the Cowboys are fine 46 or 58 minutes. And then the last 2 minutes, they can't seem to move the ball or score a touchdown. There is something fundamentally broken with the end of the game for the Cowboys, and they need to address it. And they're not going to be the team that they have. They have built a team worthy of being a Super Bowl contender, but you're not going to reach those heights unless you fix what is fundamentally broken with the Cowboys. You have to win close games. There has to be a plan. There has to be end of game drives that lead to points that win you the football game. That's just how the NFL works. The NFL is a there's a lot of talent in the NFL, and every week you see game-winning field goals, game-winning drives, and the Cowboys don't seem to be among those teams. We either are front runners and we win by a ton, or we lose by the slimmest of margins and we can't win.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I didn't like McCarthy hiring from the beginning. Obviously, I still don't like it now. I don't even know who to replace him with now because my wish list was Sean Payton and that was it. And I don't even. Well, I guess time will tell if he ever gets rid of Russ over there in Denver to see if he's still got it or not. But they just I don't even know how to explain them. They just fold. They suck at the end of games, and it's everything. It's and what play was that? Was it the false start? I think maybe that Dak was about to run another
Yeah,
QB draw right at the middle of the end of the game there, and they were at like the 10-yard line, and
yeah,
you saw the beginning of the play. You're like, were you really about to do that, man?
yeah.
There's just no way you
That's
would have made it. So, and it would have wasted so much time. But I don't know. Would it surprise you if I told you the Cowboys have a better point differential than the Eagles,
no.
even with a 42-10 loss?
Yes, because we've beaten the crap out of other teams, and we've beaten the crap out of bad teams,
Crazy.
and the Eagles know how to win close games, and the
They do.
Cowboys.
That's something I think I said it. I think Jalen Hurts is a winner because he knows how to do that. And their one loss was to the Jets, who were playing out of their mind that week for whatever reason. But I mean, looking at the schedule, they've barely beat pretty much everybody. And honestly, I think they've had a harder schedule so far. And they're about to come up on a gauntlet. This is the week, or this is that time that we were talking about at the beginning where
Yeah,
they could go 1-4. They got Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Cowboys again, and then they had the Seahawks. So we'll
but,
see how
but
real the Eagles are after these next 4 games.
that's true. But we've seen how real the Cowboys are, and they're not.
Oh, hey, talking about the Eagles here, okay?
I just,
Chill
I'm
out.
sorry. I'm disgusted. The Texas Rangers are World Series champions.
Texas Rangers are World Series champion. That's really all that matters now. So,
I
um,
wonder. We got to talk about the Bengals Bills, huh?
I think we do need to talk about the Bengals Bills. So,
Let's
I'm
let's
excited.
Well, wait. Actually, I'm sorry. We didn't get to your worst loss. Was it the Cowboys?
Yeah, there's my worst loss.
All right. So the best
McCarthy
perform.
and Dak missed the mark.
I'll go. I'll do a best performance of the week would be Joe Burrows and the Bengals going in and beating Buffalo, or well Buffalo they would sit at home, but beating Buffalo, um, up in their record to 5-3, and it felt like they had control of the game most of the way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's just it was a class performance by a classic QB and a team that it. These are two teams that have Super Bowl aspirations, and only one team looked worthy of it at the end of that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, Bengals look great, and I feel like you can. I feel like there's just a different vibe. Like whenever I watch these two teams play, Buffalo seems almost like they're pressing a little bit, like they're trying really, really hard all the time, and not necessarily in a good way, you know. And then, and this might just be the quarterback's position, especially just their vibe, but Joe Burrow just seems like he's just like, "Sup, yeah, let's go play this game and win." Like, all right, that was easy, we got control of the whole game, right? Like, is that not kind of how it felt?
I think the Bills are pressing because I think internally the Bills know that this run may be coming, or at least with this group of players, may be coming to an end at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
this is their last
Uh,
dance.
essentially, I don't know what
Maybe,
you call.
maybe.
I don't know what you call when the team's not that good, but they've like, or they haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah,
This is their
yeah,
this is their last Macarena.
yeah.
Uh,
There you go.
um, I think that there is. So I do think that there's pressure on the Bills to go out and win. I think that Josh Allen has taken upon himself to decide that he is Superman in all situations, and that
Yeah,
doesn't always work. And when it does work, it's awesome, and when it doesn't, it leads to bad losses. Um, I just, I think there's three good teams in the AFC, and I don't think the Bills are one of them. And I didn't think. I don't know if you remember. I said at the beginning of the season, I picked the Dolphins to win the AFC East. Not because I was high on the Dolphins, but I also was lower on the Bills than consensus. So I just want to point that out.
okay.
Also, I finally got a lock right this week, so I feel like my football genius
Congrats.
is coming back. So
You're
feeling
starting
good
to
about
you're starting to feeling yourself a little bit now.
feeling really good. Feeling
Yeah.
great.
I think I still have the Bengals to pick as my lock, by the way, because they were, I think you do too, right? They were struggling a little bit there. So that should set us up well, but we're still both killing Jay. So that's really all that matters.
Honestly,
Um,
should Jay just stop making picks? Or actually, I think the people want Jay to make picks so that when he makes a pick, they know that they can bet the opposite direction
yeah,
and it'll
just
be fine.
fade him. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't follow anything he says. So also the Bengals, if you can win and Burrow has 348 and only 41 of them are to Jamar Chase, that's pretty good.
That is pretty
Higgins
good.
went off 8 for 110. So he had a great game there. So um
Congratulations, T. Higgins.
congratulations, T. Higgins. That's right. Yeah. He did the thing. He did well. So um well, should we just go ahead and look a little bit to next week? What do you think?
I think that we're at that point.
All right, let's do it. So
Actually,
let's
wait. I do. I'm sorry. Can I just throw one thing out there?
sure.
I am buying all the Will Levis stock
Oh
that you have.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
It was a Thursday night game. We tend to forget about him. They
Yes.
the Titans lost, and that was not his fault. That dude is a freak. And once the Titans offensive coordinators learn to trust him, he's going to be good. And give me the Will Levis and CJ Stroud stock. I'll take them both.
I completely agree. I'm selling all my Bryce Young stock. He's too short and he's terrible and he's somehow slower in the NFL than he is in college. I don't know how that works, but yeah, Will Levis. Look, I'm the jury's still out if he's too jacked to be an NFL quarterback. I think he's got some show muscles. Let's see if they're real muscles, I guess, but He looked good, and he played so much better than Kenny Pickett, but they still lost. He is officially taking over, I think, in Tennessee, though. I think they announced that today that Tannehill's lost his job to injury. So sorry,
They
bro.
no, they did announce that, and I know that there was great rejoicing in Nashville. I think
Yes.
like Tannehill has been the Kirk Cousins of the AFC for a few years now,
Yep.
and I have my buddy actually came over Thursday and we watched the whole game. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not watch much of Will Levis last week. This week I watched, and dude's good. I am
He can
happy
play.
for he I'm happy for the Tennessee Titans fans.
Yeah. No, I think they got the real deal there. So and unfortunately, like you said, the Texans with CJ Stroud too. Man, I wish the Cowboys would have drafted him. That was
Man, wouldn't
you
that
know
be
what,
awesome?
kid, can we talk about we didn't talk about that game, did we? That was the Houston Tampa Bay game. That game was nuts.
Yeah,
39-37. Who would have
yeah.
thought that was going to be the all in? Stroud had 470 yards, and they had their backup running back kicking field goals.
Like it really was like
What?
what it really was like watching just like a make believe like a football game where like or a football movie where they don't really know much about football, but they're like, we can do some really dramatic stuff with the game. Like the kicker gets
Yeah.
hurt, the backup
Yeah.
running back field goals. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, I don't know.
and
That
then
was wild.
the rookie quarterback will throw for 1,000,000 yards, and it will
Yeah.
be. So no, that was a
Like,
fun. That was the most fun game of the week for
that
sure.
was the most fun game of the week. But yeah, it was good. You and Baker looked good there for a little bit. Can you believe that?
I don't want to acknowledge Baker Mayfield this year because I don't want to give Kyle the satisfaction. But man,
Mm.
Baker's been much better than I anticipated. I will give him that.
Yeah, he has been much better, but also, yeah, Kyle, no. So, all right, let's look ahead to week 10 here. I'm just gonna pick a few of the better games, I guess we should say. There's another game in Germany that I said it, I think a few weeks ago. This is too many.
Yeah,
There's too many
no.
international games. Play one in London, one in Germany. And then if you want to be on the same time zone as normal, then that's play 7 games in Mexico City for all I care.
Dude, Mexico City is where it's at. I mean, I don't understand why they're trying to bring it to Europe when Mexico is the next great, like the next great breeding ground. I mean,
They have real
if you go
fans that
to
know.
exactly, if you go to a Cowboys game, it's like not to I'm not trying to be racial, but like it's 70% Hispanic fans like that go to Dallas Cowboys games. And most of the hardcore football fans in my life are of Hispanic and Latin American origin or ethnicity. Go to Mexico City. They love football. Like make a team there. And
Yeah.
then like I don't Europeans don't care about football. They're never going to care about football. It's too
No.
brutal. All we're doing is going over there and making fools of ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. And also I love the funny memes that come out where it's like number of Super Bowls that USA has won, like 55, and then number of Super Bowls Europe has won or England has won 0. And I don't want that. I don't want them to get a team and then that team win the Super Bowl. I'm like, damn it.
It's
Europe got
okay.
us. They won't though.
USA has won the biggest Super Bowl.
That's right.
1776.
1776. That's right. Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. So this actually might end up being a pretty good game based on what we saw last week. The Texans are playing at the Bengals.
That's a pretty fun game.
Might be a fun game, right? You got a healthy Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud coming off for probably is, by far the best statistical day of his young career. I don't know. I mean, I to me, honestly, I think it might be a letdown game for Houston. That was a pretty emotional comeback and a pretty gutsy performance against a we'll say an average team at best, I believe, in Tampa Bay, but I still have faith in Joey being the boys to pull that out. I would say by 10.
Yeah, I think it's a lot asking for a rookie quarterback to beat the Bengals, but it's going to be a good game. It'll be. I will definitely be tuning in and keep a close eye on that game. Give me the Bengals though.
So the 49ers, these two teams feel weird playing each other, but they're playing at the Jaguars. Does that seem like they're even in the same league? Like have you ever seen those? Picture those two uniforms on the field together.
It's going to be the ugliest uniform combinations of the week, right?
At Jacksonville, sometimes they wear white at home, but if San Francisco wears their white and gold, it's going to look horrendous.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. This is a good game as well. The I don't think the Jaguars are good, and I think San Francisco really needs this win. So give me the Niners. It means more to San Francisco than it does to Jaguars.
Yeah, it does, and they're coming off of a bye. Actually, I think Jacksonville's also coming off of a bye, so maybe that's irrelevant. San Francisco does have to go across the country and play a noon game.
That's not ideal.
There's only 6 noon games next week and 4 3 o'clock games. That's kind of cool.
Get
But
you in it.
I don't know. I think Jacksonville's going to win this game. I think
Okay.
Brock Purdy. I don't. Debo's. Wait, is Debo back? Hold on.
Not yet.
He's not yet. He's not coming back.
Not yet.
Okay.
He
Well, then
may.
I'm sticking with Jacksonville then.
All right.
Almost dropped the mic there if you were watching on the YouTube. So, all right. Battle of the NFC North. The Cleveland, the team from Cleveland versus the Edgar Allan Poes.
That's AFC North.
What did I say?
You said NFC, but that's okay.
Well, I
Give me the
meant
Ravens.
AFC.
Give me the Ravens by 25.
Okay. They're playing another good team. So you're like, you know what? They're going to kill them.
40 to
I
15.
I can't pick the Browns because they're a garbage franchise. So I will also go the Ravens. I will go 72-0.
I like it. It's a great pick.
Yeah. Let's real quick a bird game. Falcons and Cardinals. What do you think?
I think whoever wins is sad
Kyler
because,
Murray is back.
yeah, I know. You know who I'm most pissed about this whole year? Bijan Robinson. Man, what happened? Why is he not being used? That's what I'm annoyed about. That's all I care about in this game. Bijan Robinson needs to touch the ball. What are you doing, Arthur Smith?
I don't
But
know. He hates him for some reason.
give me the Cardinals with Kyler coming back.
All right. Lions at the Chargers.
That is going to be a high scoring, fun game. Chargers looked okay on Monday. They beat the Jets pretty handily. I think the Lions have a bounce back game though. Give me the Lions.
All right. I think the Lions as well. Last one will go Giants and Cowboys.
Cowboys have to win this game.
Yes. This is the perfect Cowboys game, Cody,
Yeah.
because Daniel Jones is out with a torn ACL for the year. Tommy DeVito is their starting quarterback because Tyrod Taylor is hurt.
Yeah, is Taylor not going to be back either? So
I don't
yeah,
think so. I think he broke something.
Cowboys will do the thing where they're going to win by a lot, and everybody's going to be jump back on their bandwagon, and they can break our hearts again. So you can't fool me, Cowboys.
Yep. And just to prepare yourself, Cody, because they have a chance to go on a little run here. They have the Giants, Panthers, and Washingtons coming up.
So we're going to be 8-3.
then we play Seattle, and then we play Philly again.
I think we're going to be 9-3 going into that Philly game.
We got a little gauntlet.
Yeah, after Seattle and Philly.
Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit.
That's not great, Jim. That's not.
We end with Washington. So I guess we'll find out how real they are during that stretch.
We are going to be 10-7 or 11-6, best case.
Okay.
That is our end goal.
Nice. Okay. Well, that'll do it for the show.
No, I have a mailbag question.
Oh,
Quick one.
okay.
All right. So I watched the Great British Bake Off with my wife.
Okay.
I am convinced.
Not very American of you, I will say, but go ahead.
I am convinced that the British people have the worst food on planet Earth. I
Okay.
want to know. I want to know if there's a region of the world that you think has worse food than Britain.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think. I feel like everywhere else has like a pretty decent
Like
to normal, I guess, food with like delicious spices, but there's also not there's not a British restaurant, like there's probably a reason for that, right?
yeah, because they all
Like
look terrible.
like there's obviously Italian restaurants, there's
Yeah.
like, Argentinian, Brazilian, all sorts of other different Indian restaurants are obviously very popular, but yeah, Mediterranean just
Yeah.
I think it's
I
that it's UK in
the,
general, right?
the only thing that I don't know the answer to is what does Australia eat? And do they have terrible food as well? Because I never talk like the only Australian place that I've even like heard reference Australia, which is clearly American food, is Outback Steakhouse. Like I've never seen an Australian restaurant, so I don't know what they eat. So
I don't know. They probably eat like kangaroos
giant
or something. I don't know. Yeah.
kangaroo burger. They have
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull this up right now. Most popular dishes are they also have a meat pie, just so you know. They have what's
this
called
Australia.
Australian barbecue. They have something
Okay,
called pavlova. What?
pavlova.
Yeah, pavlova.
Okay, okay.
Other than
So
that, yeah, I mean, they at least they barbecue things. They have
yeah,
Australian barbecue. That's a thing.
if Australian barbecue is a thing, then definitely Britain has the worst food. So congratulations, you lost 1776, and you lost the food wars.
Yeah. Except for cake.
Uh, America knows how to do cake. Come on now.
All right. No. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Well, Cody, great show. Jay, we miss you, buddy. We hope you get better soon, and we'll see you hopefully next week when we celebrate a Cowboys stomping. Sorry, just I gotta tell you this meme that I'm looking at right now. Um, I googled worst food in the world, and there's a meme, and it says England. They spent centuries conquering the world in search of spices and decided not to use any of them. Oh,
That's pretty much the case.
there you go. Sums it up. So, okay. Well, until next week, we'll see y'all later.
Jerry Jones, throw the bag at Mike Tomlin this offseason. Do it. Throw the bag at him.
Peace.